நீங்கள் பார்த்து கொண்டிருப்பது உங்கள் RSKV யூடியூப் சேனல்.
Income Tax Inspectors Exam 2019 Paper 4 Office Procedure. Question 1. Last pay certificate is issued in Form GAR 2. Question 2. After which days children born as third and so on are restricted for not entitlement of TA on transfer for such child 1st January 1999. Which of the following is a penalty? Withholding of promotion. Question 4. An order of suspension made or deemed to have been made would not be valid unless extended after a period of 90 days. Question 5. Under Rule 2(1)(c) of General Provident Fund Central Services rules, family means in the case of a male subscriber A. Major brothers adult bracket then B. married sisters, C. sons children, D. none of the above. Answer D. none of the above. Question 6. Which statistics of an assessing officer does not find place in CAP2 budget collection achieved? Question 7. Where an order under section 263 of the IT Act is passed by the CIT enhancing the assessment, the order imposing penalty under section 271(1)(c) may be passed within a period of 6 months from the end of the month in which such order is passed. Question 8. The house rent allowances is not admissible during leave taken during training abroad. Question 9. The following periods can be excluded in completing the period of limitation under section 153 of the IT Act. A. Time taken in giving opportunity to assessee to be reheard under provision to section 129. B. Period during which assessment is stayed by an order on injunction of any court. C. Period from the date on which the assessing officer directs assessee to get his accounts audited under section 142(2)(a) and ending with the last date on which assessee is required to furnish report of such audit. Answer all of the above are correct. Question 10. A claim of refund under chapter 19 shall be made in form number 30. Question 11. The cash chest or almirah should be secured by locks of different patterns so that the keys of one do not fit into the other. 2. Answer. Question 12. A government servant due to retire on superannuation shall be exempted from making any subscription to the GPF during the last of his service, 3 months. Question 13. If an employee is transformed to another CGHS station and his family continue to stay at the old station, his family is to CGHS facility at old station, entitled. Question 14. Under Rule 14(7) of CCS (CCA) rule, the maximum time allowed or awarded to a government servant to appear before enquiring authority after the receipt of article of charge is 10 working days. Question 15. Commutation of one kind of leave into another is related to Rule 10 of the Central Civil Services (Leave) Rules 1972. Question 16. Which of the following head is not reported to monthly expenditure statement? Refunds issued. If Question 17. If reference is made to transfer pricing officer TPO, the period available for assessment shall be extended by 12 months. Question 18. If the spouse has been allotted accommodation at the same station by the central state government, a government servant shall not be entitled to HRA. Question 19. In a search case, the last of the authorization for search under Section 132 was executed on 20th September 2021. Then the time limit for completion of assessment under Section 153 for 6 assessment years referred to in clause of under Section Clause B of Section 153A bar 1 is 31st March 2023. Question 20. A notice under Section 148 issued on 31/3/2024 for annual year 2020-21 but served on 3/4/2024. Assessment made on this notice is valid. Question 21. The standard form for maintenance of Register of Contingent Charges is Form GAR 27. Question 22. A government servant died on 24th January 2023. Can the pay and allowance for that day be drawn? Yes. Question 23. Which of the following is not a minor penalty? Reduction to lower level in pay scale for specific period with cumulative effect. Question 24. Under which rule the provision of prohibition of sexual harassment of working women is covered? Rule 3C. Rule 15 of General Provident Fund Central Services. Rules is related to withdrawal from the fund. Question 26. Which of the following head of expenditure is not reported in quarterly statement of pay and various allowances? Answer: office expenses. Question 27. If the person on whom a notice under Section 148 is to be served is a person treated as the agent of a non-resident under Section 163, and the assessment, reassessment or recomputation to be made in pursuance of the notice is to be made on him as the agent of such non-resident, the notice shall not be issued after the expiry of a period of 6 years from the end of the relevant assessment year. Question 28. Economy class air travel within India is available to the pay scale 6 to 13. Question 29. As per instruction number 7/2004, the additional CIT or junior CIT will have the power to write off the irrecoverable demand as recommended by the local committee up to rupees 1 lakh. Question 30. Which income tax rule is connected for inquiry under Section 132? 112A. Question 31. Under which rule of central government account receipts and payments rules 1983 the contingent register has to be kept in each office? Rule 110. Question 32. The residuary financial powers vest in finance ministry. Question 33. During the period under suspension, leave travel concession can be availed by the family of the government employee independently. Question 34. What is the maximum period of leave that can be granted to female government servant during the pendency of inquiry under sexual harassment of women at workplace prevention or prohibition under redressal? Act 2013. Answer: 90 days. 90. Question 35. Which one of the family member is ineligible to get family pension? Disabled siblings who were dependent on government servant. B. Parents who were wholly dependent on government. C. Any son or daughter who is suffering from any disorder of mind. Answer D. None of the above. Question 36. As per latest guidelines, dossiers above rupees 25 crores are to be monitored by ADG (recovery). Question 37. In case of medical leave, HRA is admissible up to 8 months of leave with medical certificate. Question 38. The value of goods which can be produced through advertised tender inquiry. Answer 25 lakhs and above. Question 39. With right of irrecoverable demand, the government shall have the right to recover during 30 years. Question 40. Which shall not be deemed to be cases where income chargeable to tax has escaped assessment. Unverified creditors are in the books of account. Question 41. Erasures and overwriting in any bill are absolutely forbidden and must be avoided. If any correction be necessary, the incorrect entry should be cancelled neatly in red ink and the correct entry inserted. Question 42. When a government servant under suspension dies, suspension abates and pay allowances and retirement benefits are admitted and under normal rules. Question 43. Holding of meetings, demonstrations by government servant within office premises in violation of CCS conduct rule 7 I. Question 44. Average emoluments for the purpose of pension or emoluments drawn by an employee during last dash months of service. 10 months. Question 45. Dash periods on retirement after being declared by the competent medical authority to be permanently incapacitated for further service. Invalid pension. Question 46. Under the provisions of Section 241A of the Income Tax Act 1961, which authority's previous approval is required to withhold the refund arising out of processing under Section 143(1) of the Act? Previous approval of commissioner or principal commissioner would be required. Question 47. Home travel concession is not available to person who are railway employees. Question 48. Any loss or shortage of public monies, department revenue or receipts, stamps, stores or other property held by on behalf of government irrespective of the cases of loss and manner of detection shall be immediately reported by the subordinate authority concerned to the next higher authority as well as to the statutory audit officer and to the concerned principal accounts officer, even when such loss had been made good by the party responsible for it. However, the following loss need not be reported. Petty losses of value not exceeding rupees 2000. Question 49. The regional committee, consisting of 3 officers of the level of CIT, can recommend write-off of recoverable demand of wealth tax up to rupees 10 lakh. Question 50. As per circular number 17/2019, what is the minimum tax effect for filing appeal in High Court? Rupees 1 crore. Question 51. Total number of rules that are available in the Central Government Accounts Receipts and Payments Rules 1983 are 199. Question 52. What is the maximum amount of withdrawal permissible for housing purposes from GPF? 90% of balance. Question 53. Suspension. Amount of effective removal from duty. Question 54. Half pay leave amount of every government servant shall be credited with half pay leave in advance in installments of dash days each on the first day of January and July of every calendar year, 10 days. Question 55. As per the provisions of Section 244A 1B of the Income Tax Act 1961 from annual year 2017-18, Deductor of tax are also eligible for interest on refund. What is the rate of such interest? 1/2% for every month or part of a month. Question 56. What is the minimum amount of taxable wealth escaping assessment after 3 years but before 10 years of relevant assessment year in the reopened as per Wealth Tax Act 1957? 50 lakhs. Question 57. Advance for HTC or LTC is admissible for return journey also if the leave taken by the employee or the anticipated absence does not exceed dash days 90 days. Question 58. If an order of assessment has to be completed under section 144 of the IT Act 1961 for the annual year 2022-23, the name has to be done on or before 31st March 2024. The same has to be done on or before 31st March 2024. Question 59. A government servant retires on 30th April 2023. How many earned leave shall be credited to his account for the calendar year 2023? 10. Question 60. Which one is not a procedure of write-off of arrears of tax demand? Technical procedure. Question 61. Sub-vouchers for more than rupees 500 each in respect of contingent charges should be invariably submitted by DDO to Accounts Office. Question 62. For violation of CCS bracket la conduct, Rule 20 for the second time a government employee is liable to be warned in writing. Question 63. Which CCS conduct rules stipulates that no government servant shall employ to work any child below the age of 14 years? 22A conduct rule. Question 64. Under which provision of Income Tax Act 1961 gratuity is exempt from income tax? Section 10/10 of Income Tax Act 1961. Question 65. Which of the following budget estimates are required to be sent 10 monthly? Question 66. If rupees 30,000 rental income in Mumbai is annual year 2020-21 had escaped assessment, which is the last date issuing notice under section 148 31/3/2024. Question 67. Home travel concession is not admissible during child care leave. Question 68. The Income Tax Appellate Tribunal's order under section 254 setting aside an order of assessment was received by the concerned principal CIT on 18th September 2023. The fresh assessment is pursuance of the order under section 254 may be made at any time before 31st March 2025. Question 69. Which of these is correct in respect of paternity leave? It can be availed anytime 15 days prior to delivery up to 6 months from the date of delivery. Question 70. As per regular procedure for write-off arrears of tax demand can be considered for write-off that are over dash years old and have become irrecoverable 3 years. Question 71. Check issued by the DDOs are required to be entered in a register of check issued in Form GAR 4. Question 72. Which of the following amounts to misconduct on account of lack of integrity? Undesirable contact with businessmen or professionals. Question 73. Whether participation in auction and bidding by government servant is allowed when the auction is conducted by his own office or ministry. It is prohibited, however, no specific provision in CCS conduct rules. Question 74. A retired government servant is entitled to additional pension after completing of dash years, 80 years. Question 75. If an assessee files its return of income tax under section 139/1 of the Act and some refund becomes due to him for paying his excess advance tax, then the interest under section 244A of the Act would be allowed to him from the first date of April of concerned assessment year to the date of issuance of the refund. Question 76. In which section of the Wealth Tax Act notice is issued where wealth is escaping assessment under Section 17? Question 77. Children's education allowance is available for children studying from nursery to 12th class. Question 78. In a case where an assessment has been set aside by an order under Section 263 of the IT Act 1961 on or after 1/4/2019, the fresh assessment has to be passed before the expiry of 12 months from the end of the financial year in which order under Section 263 is passed. Question 79. From 1/1/2016, what is the minimum amount of pension? Rupees 9,000. Question 80. No order imposing a penalty under Chapter 21 shall be passed in a case where relevant assessment order is subject matter of revision under Section 264 after the expiry of dash from the end of the dash 6 months from the end of the Section 264 after the expiry of 6 months from the end of the month. Question 81. Three types of check have been prescribed for issue by the DDO related to expenditure side. What type of check is meant for issue to the government department by the DDO? Category C check. Question 82. Find the true statement. It can be only changed once during entire service. Hometown once declared can be only changed once during entire service. Question 83. Can permission be granted to enroll with the Bar Association to a government servant having legal qualification? Permission to enroll as an advocate but not allowed to practice. Question 84. What is the maximum period for which a government servant is allowed to avail continuous leave? 5 years. Question 85. If a result of some appellate order, some assessment is cancelled or set aside for making fresh assessment, then the refund, if any, become due after making of such fresh assessment. Question 86. In a case where original assessment for annual year 2018-19 was completed under Section 143(3) to issue notice under Section 148 by the ITO on 30th March 2024, approval from whom is required? CCIT. Question 87. Find the false statement regarding children's education allowance. It is not admissible to correspondence study or distance learning. Question 88. Which of the following is not exempt from attachment by order of a court? 1. DNS pay. B. DNS allowance. C. Conveyance allowance. D. Answer none of the above. Question 89. Mr. X, a permanent government servant, has been transferred from Sikkim to Kanyakumari. The road distance travelled between the station is 3040 kilometers. The total joining time can be availed by Mr. X is 17 days. Question 90. How the normal advance from GPF is recoverable? In not more than 24 equal monthly installments. Question 91. Penalty proceeding under Section 271(1)(c) is required to be completed within dash from the end of the month in which the order of the ITAT received by the Commissioner. 6 months. Question 92. For the first 3 months, subsistence allowance to employee under suspension is paid an amount equal to leave salary for leave on half pay, that is 50% of the pay. Question 93. State the year in which CCS conduct rules came into force. 1964. Question 94. What is the minimum qualifying service to draw pension? An employee who retires with a qualifying service of not less than 10 years. Question 95. Which rule under the income tax rules 1962 governs the claim of refund? Rule 41. Question 96. The principal CIT or CIT cannot revise the order of the assessing officer under section 263 after the expiry of 2 years from the end of financial year in which order sought to be revised was passed. Question 97. In the case of death of government servant, children education allowance will be payable till such time the government servant would have actually received it, if not died. Question 98. If an order under section 250 or 254 or 260 or 262 or 263 and 264 is received or passed by the principal CIT as the case may be, then an order should be passed within 3 months from the end of the month, giving effect only, wholly or partly, otherwise than by making a fresh assessment or reassessment. Question 19. A government employee is kidnapped by terrorists. Which of these is true in respect of his family getting family pension? Family can be paid family pension after 6 months from the date of lodging police report. Question 100. When can temporary government servants subscribe in General Provident Fund (GPF)? Temporary government servants can subscribe only after the completion of 1 year of service.